stuff, then restart the server.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark. The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for point of view.
All right, this is Jessie. How are you guys doing out there today? Okay, I know. I'm not normally live on Saturday Slowdown, and I've missed a lot of Saturday Slowdowns lately. I'm going to explain all that in just a few minutes. But, wait, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm always alone on, well, not always alone on Saturday Slowdown. Sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. But today, I'm for sure not alone. I turned the tables. You know how Rick's had me on his show a bunch of times? Well, I brought him onto my show. How you doing today, Rick?
Hanging in there, Jess. How are you?
I can't wait for all the hard work we've both been putting in to come to life. And I've been dying to share the whole story with our listeners, and I know we've both given them snippets and hints for the last month. But is it finally time to let this cat out of the bag?
Wait, you've been keeping Philip in a bag this whole time? You should probably let him out. I'm just saying.
Ha 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 ha. No, Philip and Diana, my two cats, have not been in a bag for a month. You know what secret I'm discussing. It's kind of an open
that cat. Yeah, maybe we should finally let that one out of the bag.
So, because I don't know about you, but I have put in probably 1,000 hours or more, and that's why I must apologize to my listeners who did not hear me, who tried to listen in this past week, and you kind of got pre-recorded interviews the 3 times you got anything from me this week, and I apologize, but I've been busy, so busy working on this big secret. There was so much to do right at the end. I didn't have time to do a good quality show, and rather than bring you a half-baked, last-minute, thrown-together disaster, I'd rather you hear an interview.
See, why you got to bring that up? Now it sounds like you're talking about my show. Oh, wait, never mind.
No, your shows aren't half-baked. Hey, I got you 2 interviews out of 3 nights this week. I don't want to hear.
I know. Just giving myself a hard time. It's what I do.
So, all right. So, is it time to finally tell our listeners once and for all the full story of the not really super secret, the semi-open secret project we've been working on? Because any of those who actually hang out in the chat rooms and follow us on Twitter have caught glimpses of it. But I hear we sort of have a funeral coming up and a rebirth, so to speak.
Well, so basically what's happening is I am turning over the reins of K98 Talk back to the owner of the name. And as you and I both know, we've been working on a project to keep what we've been doing alive over here because I didn't want to see it die. But at this point, I don't feel like I was getting all of the help that I needed from someone who was supposed to be a partner. So that brought up a brand new project. And then the station that we assume the call letters for tomorrow was born, and that, of course, is KLRN
Radio, yes. And I have a feeling all the hosts are going to twist.
And I still let my dyslexia kick in.
I think all of the hosts are going to trip over it for the first 2 weeks. I really do, because unless you've said it 1,000 times, like I have, yeah. KLRNRadio.com is live. Now, it's still undergoing some last-minute construction. There are pages I have built that I'm just now working on adding into menus and things like that. And yes, I have been doing a ton of webmaster stuff. And no, I'm not a trained webmaster. Or graphic designer, and I've been doing a lot of both. And I must give a big shout-out here, Rick, and I think you and I both know this. Judy, Black Wolf Editorial. She has helped me write more copy. She has edited more garbled 3 a.m. thoughts than I care to even comment on over the past month to bring this thing to fruition.
She has definitely been a lifesaver. I almost said lightsaber because we keep talking about her coming on and talking about the lightsabers. And
yeah, she's going to, in December. And August 9th, she's actually going to be on my show to give an update on Juno and Jupiter. So
nice. Well, just remember, it's not Saturn.
No, I actually when I have a guest on with a topic like that, I actually make up an index card and prop it up right in front of my screen with 3 or 4 things I wanted to ask them about or definitely wanted to get in or whatever. And Jupiter will definitely be at the top of that card. So
the sad thing is I kept looking it up, and then I would remember that it was Jupiter, and then I would go back and say the wrong thing again anyway. I was just like, okay, I'm over this episode. I don't do science stuff well, apparently. Can we talk politics, please?
Hey, Judy even managed to explain that away. Because the book had actually said Saturn, so some book about this whole thing had actually evidently been about Saturn, not Jupiter. So,
we were talking about 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I think it was either the end of that one or the beginning of 2010. The planet Jupiter in the movie actually was turned into a second sun. Well, in the book, it was actually Saturn, and I think that was her way of trying to help me dig myself back out of a hole.
Judy is exceptionally well read. Well, I guess you'd expect a PhD to be well read, but yeah.
I would hope.
She has been a lifesaver. Everything from, I don't know if any of my listeners remember, she did this thing called a health check. It was only available during June, where she would go in and check all your social media stuff and make sure it played well together. Well, KLRN got one. And yeah, she checked to make sure she's actually going to do the final check with me tonight. We're going to walk through the website, she's going to walk through the website, make sure there's no broken links. She's going to make sure that the Twitter feed and the buttons are the right size, the right place, she's not going to change anything. That'll be my job. But if something doesn't look right or feel right or work right, she's going to tell me all about it. So, yeah, another probably 30 hours on this station tonight. So what do you think the non-partner partner is going to have to say when you tell him Sunday, goodbye, you are the weakest link?
I honestly don't know. At this point, I honestly don't know if he'll care or not. The only thing I keep hearing from him lately is complaints that we changed the graphic, but the only reason we changed the graphic was because everybody kept trying to go to a broken website that doesn't work anyway. Because the only reason there is even still a K98 Talk is because I built a mirror site instead of relying on him to fix the one that he never would fix.
Well, guess what? You have complete access to KLRNRadio.com. So you can fix it, and I can fix it.
Sounds like a plan.
Just no letting Philip, Diana, or I believe you have a dog. What's the dog's name?
Actually, we have 3 dogs, and no, they won't get anywhere near the website.
Okay, good. So, and Dave, my producer, is dubious as well. So I've been working hard getting intro liners. I've reached out to a number of people. I've had random friends literally, hey, want to do me a favor? Sit down here, read this card. Let me record you saying this. I have literally accosted friends who walked in the door to work on those liners, Rick.
And are they still friends, or are they not coming over anymore?
Oh no, they're still friends. The ones I accosted, so to speak, were all ones I knew really well, and I knew they'd get a kick out of doing it. So I didn't grab, the maintenance man. I grabbed, the guy we're on our third base serving with now, I grabbed the guy who's over here so often it's almost, hi honey, I'm home. Those are the kind of people I grabbed. We have a couple of military friends that they're over at our house almost as much as they're at their houses. So, like I said, you pick and choose who you grab, but I did grab several. And then I had one of our hosts take a gander at it too. Wentz, from Wentz's World. He took a shot at it too. So I'm going to be putting up for any of you hosts who happen to be listening in. There is a host resources page. You guys should have the password. If you don't, Rick and I both have it. We'll be more than happy to give it to you. The new liners are going up. They will be up by 8 o'clock tonight. So you'll have all day tomorrow to download them. The official change happens Monday. And I think we said we're giving a 1-week grace period for anybody running K98 stuff.
Yes, ma'am. They have 7 days to completely make sure that any references to K98 Talk are removed from their liners and commercials.
So I am so excited about this. And I know we're kind of giving information to hosts as well as listeners. And for all you listeners out there who like to hang out in the chat room, KLRN Radio has a chat. I know, KLRNradio.com has a chat room. I think it's prettier than K98's chat room personally. But then I kind of designed it, so I'm partial to it.
Yeah, I'm just, after saying K98 Talk for, 4 years now, I'm pretty sure tomorrow or Monday I'm going to flip it up at least once and be like, oh, never mind. My bad.
I think everybody is going to have a bit of that, so I'm not really worried about it for the first week. That's why we're giving everybody a week to get over it. So what are you most excited about, Rick?
Honestly, one of the things I'm most excited about is the look of the website. It looks absolutely amazing, comparatively speaking, because I put most of Talk together, the .org site, before you came on board, and the difference between that site and this site looks like a 5-year-old put up the other one. And I will admit that mentally I'm probably pretty close to 5, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Hey, I did what I could to revamp Talk.org.
Yeah, but it was just kind of meh from the beginning. It wasn't really you.
No, but I have taken my time, and the cat, both cats, the husband, and everybody who frequents stopping by this place, which some days it's Grand Central Station. You know, I literally have a door hanger. It's a do not disturb door hanger. It's actually meant for writers, but I saw it and grabbed it. I literally hang it on the door to where I record. And if it's up and says, writing in progress, do not disturb, it actually means I'm on air. So what can I say? I mean, literally, because it was to the point where, Grand Central Station was detouring through where I try to record and work on stuff. Now, if I'm sitting there working on the website, not doing any audio, yeah, come on in. I don't care. You can sit down, the seat. I have a chair. I work in my garage. I have a recliner out here. I have all manner of things. I do have fans out here, but I can't have them on when I'm on air because you will hear the fan majorly, because it blows right across my microphone, no matter what I try and do with it. And if I shield enough so that it doesn't hit the microphone, it doesn't hit me, so there's no point in having it. So for 1 hour, I turn off the fan. But no, actually, in that respect, I can't wait for winter, because the heater that sits down on the floor next to me, I can have on without it getting them on the microphone, because it's on the floor. So, but no, I have been out here for days on end. Are you still with me, Rick, or are you just being quiet?
I'm here. Trust me.
I mean, guys, you have no idea the new skill set I've had to learn on the fly. I have been doing graphic design stuff, like not designing graphics from scratch, but like taking commercial use. And yes, I've made sure everything I have used is acceptable for commercial use, royalty free. Images and pictures, combining them, layering them, putting text on top of them. I've been getting a crash course in GIMP, which is something else that turns out that Judy has some experience with, but she doesn't. She's not a graphic designer, people. Do not go to her for graphics. She will not help you build your graphics. She taught me how to use the program as a personal favor. So. So she taught me how to use the program as a personal favor. So, she's an editor. She will rewrite your bio, which is actually something I'd like all of our hosts to do. She has a special for us. She will redo your bio and your show blurb. So, and I think that's real great that she gave KLRN a special rate for both things. She'll combine your bio and your show blurb into one very pretty paragraph. So you have to admit, Rick, she is a master with words.
Oh yeah, she's been awesome. So yeah, any hosts that are listening, if you want to reach out to figure out how to take advantage of some of the things that she is offering, just reach out to either myself or Miss Jess, and we will get you hooked up, one way or the other.
And Jessica is actually going to post a very special note on the host resources page in about an hour and a half, explaining a few other things that I'm not going into on the air. So for those of you who are scratching your heads going, wait a minute, that happen to be listening in or happen to catch this, all will be made clear on the host resources page. I promise. But like I said, yeah, I'm glad I had the time to take my time and build the site properly. And it all started with getting a logo designed. And we went through, Rick, you didn't see this side of it. We went through 4 designers and 57 different concepts. I only brought you the best of them.
Well, I definitely like the one that we ended up with, so thank you for all the hard work.
Yeah, I mean, that took 10 days. Getting the call sign and buying the domain took 20 minutes. The rest of it? Holy cannoli. I mean, I knew there was going to be work. I didn't think getting a logo, a decent looking logo, was going to take as long as it did. But I was willing to persevere because I knew this was a logo the station was going to be stuck with, hopefully for a very long time. And we have all the rights to it. And not only do I have the logo that you see, the version that you see on the site, with the slogan and the motto and everything, I have all of that in other variations like transparent images, so we can take it and put it into a program like GIMP and put it on any background we want. I have the logo separate from the slogan. I have all these bits and pieces and variations of it. So, we can pretty much do what we need to do, how we need to do it. And that was one of the things I was working towards achieving with this. And that's why I took so much time to do it. So, Rick, what are you looking forward to the most, other than the website?
Just honestly, a lot of it, I mean, we've got a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes. We've got, we're already in talks with somebody who might be bringing a new show over. We've got another one that we're kind of in the works for right now. So I'm just looking forward to the fact that not only are we kind of shifting gears a little bit and moving things in a slightly different direction, we are also working on bringing even more content over once we make the jump, and even more after that. That's honestly what I've been wanting to do this whole time, is get it to the point where there is an online station where you can basically go to hear the best in the talk radio that you really can't get everywhere else. It's one of the things that I've noticed is happening more and more. A lot of the online stations have started getting to the point where they're starting to try to bring in the bigger names from regular talk radio and fill in sometimes 2 to 3 hours of their time slots. And I don't really understand that, because those voices are already readily available in so many different places. And having them on in one more place, especially an online place, really doesn't seem like a good business model to me. I'm not going to down the folks that are doing that, but one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and one of the things that we've done, whether it be through the Spark Radio Network, K98 Talk, or now KLRN, is make sure that we have the best content available as much as we can find, and play it as often as we can, to make sure that people not only get the best folks in the new media, because, I mean, digital media is where everything's heading. I mean, if you talk to folks in radio today, they're looking at us that are doing it online and going, you guys are already in the right place. I don't know why you keep trying to bust in over here, because we're on the way out. I hear that day in and day out. But the difference is advertisers still only really recognize radio. advertisers haven't caught up with the rest of us. So that's why at this point we're working on getting some terrestrial syndications and some other things going to try to get a little bit of money coming in so that we can keep building the projects. But I don't want to just keep playing folks. I mean, because I noticed on one of the a couple of the other affiliates that I'm on, they run shows like Michael Savage, and there's a couple others that are really big name folks. And I'm sure they were really happy when those folks signed. But I'm looking at it going, that's 9 hours a day of your content that is just like everybody else's. What's the point in that?
One of the things, I don't know if you've read about KLRN, the website, the KLRNradio.com site, the About page. The About page literally says that, we're founded on the First Amendment, and that's a principle that is near and dear to both of our hearts. And that's what we want to do. We want to help give those people who feel they don't have a voice anywhere. In fact, you had a protester from the DNC on last night, which I thought was incredible. He made some great points. And I was sitting here listening to that interview last night, Rick, just laughing, especially when you agreed with him so much.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, and, this isn't going to make the hard right-wing folks very happy, but the simple fact of the matter is our government and our society works better when we find a way to get back to the middle. There's an old Indian proverb that, and I don't honestly know if it is or not, but it's what my granddad used to tell me, and he swears it's an old Cherokee proverb. Whether it's the right wing or the left wing, it's all still part of the same bird. So if you go too far one way or the other, all you're really going to do is start turning in circles. If anything, the last couple of election cycles have shown us that that's exactly where we are right now, because all we keep doing is turning in circles and we're not accomplishing anything. And it's gotten so bad now that the two parties are not even hiding the fact that they're working together behind the scenes anymore to anybody who's actually willing to pay attention. There really are no differences anymore. And that's part of what I want to start trying to bring to the surface, and I want more folks to come on and give their opinions, even if they disagree with mine. We have liberal hosts that are already here. We have another one in talks with us. And I'm working on getting some libertarian hosts so that we can actually start bringing it to the point where we have pretty much every possible viewpoint available, because I want people to be able to hear what we have to say and then make up their own minds. That's what this country was founded on, was the freedom to be able to make our own choices. And if anything, this election cycle has proven to me we've moved so far away from that it's time to get back to it one way or the other. Because this whole concept of if I'm not voting for Hillary, then I'm voting for Trump, and if I'm not voting for Trump, then I'm voting for Hillary, is completely, there's no logic to it. But the thing is, both sides are now so scared that nobody's voting for their candidate that they now sound like each other. I see liberal people on social media all the time. Well, if you don't vote for Hillary, you might as well be voting for Trump. And then I see supposed conservatives on social media all the time. Well, if you're not voting for Trump, you might as well be voting for Hillary. That's like saying if I go buy a Dr. Pepper that I'm supporting Coke and Pepsi. It's not the same thing.
Not even close to the same thing, Rick. And as we've talked, there is a third party that's actually going to be out there on the ballot in all 50 states, and that's the Libertarian Party. And they're just not getting the airtime, and that's why we've had so many libertarians on. You've had Nicholas Sarwark, the chairman of the National Libertarian Party, on twice now. We're in talks to get Gary Johnson, their presidential candidate, on, which is something I will admit I kind of dropped the ball on Friday. I will get back to it first thing on Monday when everybody's conscious and paying attention again to their emails about getting Gary Johnson on, because I'd love to give him some airtime. And yes, I'd put him on your show.
Well, I mean, I don't care if he comes on my show or your show. I just want to start getting
do politics.
I want to get his platform. I know you don't really like politics, but what I'm saying is I want to get his platform out on as many different shows on the station as we can. So even if I am the first one that takes him, I would like to get it set up to where anybody else that wants to interview him has the ability to do so. Because we have different people that listen to the different shows, and not everybody listens to the same ones. I mean, we have a core group that listen to all of them, but we do have some folks that kind of come in and go out as they choose and kind of pick and choose their favorite ones, and those are the ones that they stick with. I understand that. I acknowledge that. I don't have a problem with that. What I want to do is try to give him as much exposure as he can, because the one thing that I didn't understand, and I talked about that again this morning, was when I had Nicholas on the last time, he had pointed out that it's not just that Gary Johnson has to get to 15%, and it's not just Gary Johnson has to get to 15% in a single poll. It's Gary Johnson has to get to 15% in 5 polls, and the folks that make up those rules are the ones that get to pick the 5 polls, and they don't even have to pick a poll that he's in to make it count, which tells me that the system is entirely more rigged and entirely more broken than we ever knew. So I want to do everything that I can to give him an alternate voice, to give him a way to get his message out. And at this point, I am going to start actively working on trying to find ways to get as many voices to the table as I can, because there are more than 2 ways to fix a problem. And we keep running back and forth between the same 2 choices, making the same mistakes, the same decisions, and we keep expecting things to be different. The more I watch this election cycle, the more I am completely perplexed that I didn't see this sooner. But our responses to elections are completely Pavlovian. It's a completely ingrained response. Whichever side of the aisle you agree with, that's the one that you're going to agree with all the way through, no matter who the end result is. And I see this playing out now everywhere. I see people that even told me at first they would never vote for Trump that are like, well, he's still better than Hillary, so now I've got to vote for him. No, actually, he's not any better than Hillary. If anything, he's there to to make sure Hillary gets the White House. I've said that now for months. Look at the connections, folks. Look at them. We've got Hillary Clinton and they're friends. They talk to each other. They hang out. He's donated to her campaign. Their daughters are friends. He called Bill Clinton before he ran. You can't tell me that if you really start paying attention, you can't see all of the different strings that are being pulled behind the scenes. And if you can't, then you really need to start paying attention. Because at this point, I really do feel like we are about out of time to remain the country that we are. And I honestly am starting to wonder if the damage might already be done, but I'm sure not going to go down without a fight.
All right. Well, speaking of out of time, it is time for us to take a commercial break. So we are going to pay some bills and make those advertisers and sponsors happy. And we will be back with you in just a few moments.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
All right, this is Jessie, and I have turned the tables on Rick. And yes, he is back with me live. All right, Rick, we have been talking about this for the first half of the show, about the change. K98 Talk, whatever platform you listen to it on, is going away. But wait, your favorite shows aren't disappearing. We are rebranding. As of Monday, we will be KLRNRadio.com. The site's already up. There's still a few finishing tweaks. I've got a link in a whole bunch of pages that nobody's even seen yet, a few of which haven't been built yet, but that's a story for another day. They will be by Monday. I will be spending all weekend at the keyboard. Now, for any of you hosts who are listening and going, wait a minute, there is a host resources page. Many things will be cleared up for the hosts. Listeners, sorry, you don't get to know everything. Hosts, that's also where we'll have your intro liners, your ad rolls, everything ready to go. So, and yes, I'm going to have the intro liners up by tonight. So, in fact, let me see if no, I don't have one pulled, prepped, ready to go yet. So, I can pull up, but I don't want to start another program right now with as much as my computer's doing. So, I will have it ready. And I'm going to tell you something, Rick. I've decided that the episode of Jessie's Coffee Shop that I'm running tomorrow, even though it wasn't scheduled to run tomorrow, is running under KLRN. I'm not putting K98's intro in it. Sorry.
Whatever you want to do.
I want to test out the KLRN intro. I don't want to play with K98 anymore. I want to be done with K98. In fact, Judy and she was giving her opinion on the website last night. We were doing a screen share thing, and she was going a little to the left, a little to the right, little up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, crap, I need this graphic. She's like, well, go get it. I'm like, I don't have it downloaded. I've got to go over here to get it. And she's like, so you're going to steal it off the talk web, K98talk.org? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care if that site crashed tonight, other than the chat. If that site crashed for some reason tonight, I would just tell JD and Stacy, the only people that do a live show on Sunday that use the chat room, go to KLRNRadio. In fact, I was going to reach out to them. In fact, why don't you take care of this for me and ask them if they would break in the KLRN chat room, because it is up, it is functional. It was one of the first things I made sure was up and ready. So, but yeah.
Okay, I can reach out to them and see what they say.
Because I'd like to, we've made some quiet transitions. If you snoop around closely enough, you'll see them, but you got to look close. But most of it has not yet been transitioned. A few things have. Small things have. But the logo still says K98 Talk at least for another just over 24 hours. And then bye-bye K98. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, no, just to make sure that we're clear, K98 Talk itself will still exist. It is owned by someone else. I was actually supposed to be his business partner and wound up being treated more like an employee, which is another reason why I'm moving on. So K98 Talk in and of itself may continue once he realizes that I'm not going to be the one keeping it running. He may either appoint someone else to do it or get it running again on his own. But what it will not be is anything that I have any association with anymore.
All right, so it will still exist, but we won't be part of it.
Exactly.
We are rebranding. So all of your favorite shows you've been listening to on K98talk.org, and yes, I specify .org, feel free to go over and try and listen to something on K98talk.com. I don't think you're going to get anywhere, but feel free to go try. But everything we've been doing over on talk.org is transitioning to KLRNRadio. And we are all, and like I said, none of your shows are going away. We will still have, oh, good grief, of course I need the schedule and I don't have it in front of me. Good grief, good grief. 2 seconds. We will still have God's Pure Word of Faith. We'll still have Rod Eccles, Conservative Commando, The Gavin Mitchell, The Patriot Radio Show, Jesse's POV, Vito and Vito, Behind Enemy Lines, America Off the Rails, The Jen and Rick Show, Opinion Nation, Cooper Talk, Voices of Global Freedom, Game On with JD and Stacy. They will all still be there. I haven't heard of anybody wanting to jump ship. Because yes, our hosts have known that this was coming for a little while. The only thing, and When's World, don't forget When's World, and there's a couple of others. I know I'm missing a few. Rick, if you have any other names, fill them in, please. Stafford Voice.
Stafford Voice just came back. He's making the transition. Real Serious Nonsense is still with us. The Conservative Curmudgeon, Wake Up America Radio with Lou Bell and Dr. Arrington is staying with us. So, at this point, everything that anybody's pretty much heard on K98 Talk over the last year and a half, 2 years. You're going to hear the same thing on KLRN. We're just going to continue to add to it, and we're going to have the freedom to do things more the way that we want to get them done, because I won't have someone who has ultimate control over the station telling me what it is that I can and cannot do, which is kind of what I've been running into here.
So the transition may be a little bit scary, but I promise it's for the best. There may be a few hiccups along the way. I expect hosts to trip over the new call letters for a week or so. I expect there to be slip-ups with intro liners. I expect that for about a week. After that, get over it, get it right, get on with it. Excuse me, Mr. Frog is making his regular appearance.
All right, so at this point, we've gone over the schedule, which is basically remaining exactly the way it is now, just under new call letters. We've mentioned the fact that the transition happens Monday at midnight, so on Monday morning, everybody, even though they may be used to typing in K98talk.org, when they do that, they will be redirected to our new home, which will be KLRNRadio. Speaking of Mr. Frog, thanks for sharing. And
Ribbit.
Kind of just gone over the whole thought process and why we've done what we've done and what we hope to do with it. But I'm going to turn the tables on you for about the last 10 minutes, because you've been asking me a lot of questions. I guess we still got about 15. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to once we make the transition?
Well, first of all, I love the look of the new chat room. I love the look of it. I'm looking forward to being part of something that I am seriously invested in. And if you remember, when I first approached you about a show, it was supposed to be half an hour once a week. I think I outgrew that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then I went to an hour.
Yeah, but you probably.
Then I went to an hour once a week. And within 6 weeks, I was doing 5 days a week. Now, the good thing about my show is it's fresh and it's current, because for those of you who don't listen to my show, I do news and current events. And if we are covering a breaking news story, like we did the coverage of the Dallas shooting, I was the one sitting behind the scenes coordinating that. I was the one pulling in the audio feeds. When we did the live coverage of the tragedy in Nice, where so many people lost their lives due to someone with a truck running over them. I was the one pulling in, and I was pulling in audio you couldn't get here in this country. I was pulling in audio from places like Al Jazeera English. And like I said, that's not something, unless you know how to get it, you can get in this country. I was pulling in, I tend to be the one covering the foreign scene. So I'm more likely to talk about UK politics than US politics. I will occasionally have a sentence or two about US politics, but I tend to go, yeah, hi guys, bye guys, get over to another show. So, in fact, I'm going to let a little secret out. I could have had interviews with Nicholas Sarwark. I was scheduled to interview him during the Libertarian Convention, but when they had some trouble on the floor, he didn't have time to drop everything and do the interview. And so his assistant and I talked, and I said, listen, as a station, every one of our hosts to a person is set up for call-in. Can we do something after the convention? I'll give you time, all the time you need. We'll make it work. And so Nicholas Sarwark went on vacation, came back. Sure enough, there he was 2 days after he got back from vacation, up and running right on Rick's show. And I think it's a great, it's great to have him. I mean, he's the only party that's going to be on the ballot in all 50 states that's willing to come on. And I'd like to see more people from different parties come on. And quite frankly, even though I don't cover politics, I did interview Lily Tang Williams, who's a libertarian running for, I believe, Senate in Colorado. And the reason I interviewed her and didn't shove it over to Rick was because she has an amazing backstory. She's originally from China. She grew up in Mao's China. And if that isn't the epitome of state control, I don't know what is. So I took it mostly from that point of view. We did discuss some of her political positions, but I was more interested in the backstory. So I'm just excited because now you and I do have control. There's no, I can't get in to fix this, I can't do that. It is a question of time. There are still, no matter how much I try and tell people I can do a 36-hour day, there are only 24 hours in the day, so says the clock. That won't prevent me from occasionally staying up for 36 straight hours, and I have done it. I've even done a show in the middle of that 36 hours. And yeah, I sounded coherent, don't ask how. Lots of Monster, lots of coffee, the right food, and the right motivation.
It's been a long time since I pulled a 36-hour day. I don't really want to have to do that again.
Well, when circumstances beyond my control dictate, because for those of you who aren't aware, I do have a paying day job. And my day job tends to sometimes creep into my night job, my afternoon job, my evening job, and my morning job. It doesn't just stay confined to, it's not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. My day job's a little bit weirder because I work on a global scale. I do logistics for an international corporation. There are planes moving cargo around the world 24/7. It doesn't matter. The industry doesn't care if it's a holiday here in the United States. It's not in Indonesia. It's not in Taiwan. It's not wherever these planes are coming to or going from. And I am on call about 200 days a year for my day job. So that's a lot of days. There's a good side to that. It means I can't drink, and my husband always has and his buddies always have a guaranteed designated driver. So.
Yeah, I guess that would be a good side. You do wind up having to... I'm getting some feedback on my microphone, so if I pause off all of a sudden, it's because I'm hearing myself, but I think that's on my end.
I will say I've become something of a Pokemon Go driver, even though I don't play the blasted game. They'll go out drinking and then decide they want to hit some Pokestops, so guess who ends up driving? Advantages and disadvantages to having 7-passenger van. I end up with 5 people in the car playing Pokemon Go. Oh, there's a Pokestop off to the left. Go left, go left, go left. And then what gets really hilarious, one wants to go left, one wants to go right. Guys, the van can't split in two. We'll go left, then we'll turn around and hit the one on the right. Down, down. And it always tends to be a van full of guys. So, although it's fun, and I don't mind driving like an idiot at 1 o'clock in the morning when nobody's on the road. I am not going to do it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the roads around here are jam-packed. Doing it at 1 o'clock in the morning is a little different. So what do you have planned to celebrate the launch of KLRN? I know what I've got planned. What do you have planned?
Actually, why don't you let the cat out of the bag for that first, because I actually really hadn't even thought of a way to celebrate, so maybe you will inspire me.
Well, Rick, as you know, my husband and I make homemade beer and wine. I have arranged to have enough time off to have a drink, and I plan on having a glass of homemade Moscato. No, we don't sell it. No, I can't advertise. We don't have a business license. We make it for friends and family. So, no, you can't, listeners, you can't buy from me. Sorry. Eventually, one of these days, maybe, but right now, it is strictly for friends and family. Yes, when I went to see Rick in person in Oklahoma, I did grace him with some of our green apple wine and some of the beer. I don't remember what ones we gave you, but I did bless you with some of it. So...
There was, the green apple wine, which the wife absolutely loved. Then you had me try some of the coffee stout, and then there was... the pale
ale.
And there was something.
Probably amber ale. If I remember what that 6-pack was, it was pale ale, amber ale, and coffee stout. Because it was a 2-2-2. It was a kind of a sampler 6-pack.
I have to admit, the coffee stout was my favorite. It also worked out great because nobody else liked it, so I actually got to drink it.
Hey.
Beer doesn't last long in my house for some reason.
You've got more than one person over the age of 21 there. And I'm glad your wife liked the green apple wine. I I will have to try and set aside a couple bottles of the Moscato because it turned out even better than the green apple, and I have more of the green apple that I'll be bottling. I told my husband sometime after the station launch. In other words, he originally wanted me to stop and bottle this weekend. I looked at him and said, "Have you lost what is left of your mind?"
Maybe.
Well, he didn't realize how much behind the scenes was left to do. He's like, "But you've been sitting at that keyboard for a month." I'm like, "Yeah, and I probably could spend another 3 weeks sitting at this keyboard." So.
Probably.
I mean, literally, folks, I come in from work. I get myself something to drink. I get out here to the garage. I'm usually starting straight on show prep. And then I go straight from show prep as soon as I go off the air on the days when I actually do a show, which this past week, I will admit I was very faulty on shows. I didn't do a single brand new one. And I apologize to my listeners for that. But trust me, it's all for the best as soon as you hear the new station. I'm so excited. As soon as I go off the air, I immediately take off the host hat, put on the station manager cap, and go, what do I still need to do over here? I need this graphic made. I need this thing made. Oh, and I do have another announcement I just remembered to make. For those of you who go to our Spreaker site to listen into some of our shows, we are going to move some of our archives. Some of our shows, the older ones, will be being archived over on the Spark Radio Network. Yes, there will be a link on the new KLRN site to the archives. That's about all that will be there that's K98. It'll just say archives, link here. I'm also going to see if we can put up a link to the archives on the Spreaker page. I haven't looked into it yet. We'll work on it. That's a minor detail. But if you have a classic show you love to hear over and over again, and if it suddenly disappears off Spreaker, it is not gone. I have been very careful not to delete any content. I have downloaded it, labeled it, just put it in a folder under the show it was on. I have the show graphic in the same folder, and I've saved them by the date they originally aired. And I am building an archives page over on the Spark Radio Network, which technically owns KLRN. So your favorite shows, classics that you've listened to because just they're so funny, or you like this line, or you like that parody, whatever, they are not going away. So, Rick, do you have anything else to add? We've got about 3 minutes left in this hour, but as you know, I have a huge block of time. But I think we're about out of interesting information.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we've given them pretty much everything they need to know. I mean, there are a couple of other things that we could touch on, but we want to leave some surprises for Monday. I mean, come on.
Yeah. But if you guys want to peek, the site, KLRNradio.com, is up and running. There is still a thing on it that says under construction because I have a whole bunch of work to do. So while it is up and running, if you go there now and go there 5 hours from now, there'll probably be changes, visible, physical changes. So, all right, with Rick, with that, I'm going to say, why don't you, as we always do with guests, as if everybody doesn't know where to find you, but give out your social media.
Easiest way to find me is Twitter. I usually spend most of my time there. That is AOTR_host. You can also send a friend request to my professional Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Rowdy Ricky Robinson. You can also give a like to the show's Facebook page, which is America is Coming Off the Rails. You can find that just by going into Facebook, typing that into your search bar at the top. Click like. We'll hang out. We'll talk. We'll have fun. And there is still even the Common Ground page from the show that actually did technically start it all before I started the solo show. But I really don't spend much time over there. We've got some moderators that hang out and do that page, but you can go give that one a like as well if you wish. And I think that's about all I have to say for right now.
KLRN Radio has a Facebook page. Yes, KLRN Radio has a Facebook page. It also has a Google Plus page, and it has a YouTube channel that will be up and running, so you'll be able to listen to all of our episodes in a video format. Everything will still be downloadable. We'll still be on iTunes. We'll still be on SoundCloud. We'll still be everywhere you can find them. We'll still be there. We're just basically changing labels. I just want to assure everybody, all your favorite content is going with us. No one has said they want to stick with the old brand. So I think everyone's pretty excited. I know, Rick, I'm just going to be happy when the bulk of this is over. And maybe I've literally some nights fallen asleep at my keyboard working on this, woken up and just grabbed something cold to drink and gone back to working on this. So
yeah, no, trust me, I've been there. I will admit to everyone who's listening, you've been doing the lion's share of the work on this one because I've had some family issues that have cropped up and been sick, etc. But having done everything that you're talking about now, having gone through it all once before, I understand your pain.
Hey, I understand your family issues. And with that, if you want to interact with me, Twitter at Jessie's POV, Facebook, Jessie's POV, and I have a website, jessiespov.com. And with that, I'm out of here!